Good morning. I'm here in Key West and I'm getting ready to go meet the team from Plant a Million Corals, Dr. David Vaughan and his daughter Dee Dee, who run the coral farm that we're helping to support with the help of our partners at PaMC. Stoked! All right, Dee Dee, let's go plant some corals.
All right.
Okay, Dave, so we're gonna start from the beginning of how you guys start out growing these corals. You know, walk me through this process.
Well, ceramic plugs are available through the aquarium trade and have been for many years. So we're going to take the end product sitting on a plug and 6 months later grow into a full-size live coral tissue coverage. We're going to take this and cut it into some micro-fragments to make some new ones. Then we're going to take a couple of these and just place them next to each other on a small coral head and then simulate what it would be as a medium size or a larger coral head. We take a specialized saw for making coral jewelry. I'm going to turn it on. So the next step is to actually make some micro-fragment size. I'm going to have you help me. That's 30 micro-fragments from Vaughan. This is the easy part in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's the 6 months in between there that takes a decent amount of time and labor. So we also now are making our own substrate. We use molds to make a coral head that will actually receive a plug. Here's a small one where we actually mold the insert. Well, we can just make the coral head itself and then just take basically the cut off coral and place it on there. And we can then plant it in one shot on the ground. And so in actuality, we're planting 10 or 20 corals in one piece and one movement. And that's will allow us to plant thousands of corals in one day, not just hundreds.
Wow. I love being on the project site with the partners. It's freaking amazing. So talk me through what we're gonna do now. You've actually cut these pieces.
Yeah, we're gonna put some super glue on it. We'll do the same thing with the eyebrows.
Look at that, little coral emoji, huh?
We'll just take one of these
All right. Okay.
and then we're gonna put it on here, and we're just gonna slightly push it so that it touches not just the glue, but the bottom.
And that's on there. Oh, that's amazing.
We're gonna, once we make these, we're gonna put them in here for a recovery so they're in the water most of the time.
We're using our traditional turkey baster as a response to that kind of trauma. They'll release a mucus. We want to make sure that doesn't build up. Gently push that over so it'll move the water over the corals to move that away from it.
Literally, we could get this down to 1 or 2 polyps. That'd be okay.
That is crazy.
It starts to get really small, but we have so much tissue we're growing ourselves. We don't need to go out and get new corals.
It really comes down to just scaling it up in terms of having enough tanks to actually fill it.
That's right. And if you think about it, this was one coral making 28 ones. So even if we use the power of 10,
Power 10, yep.
if we have 50,000 and cut them into 10, we're going to have 500,000.
So when you put these side by side and next to each other, it's basically just the same animal growing itself back together.
Yeah, it'd be as if we were doing a skin graft.
This looks really, really cool. What do we got going on in this particular tank?
These are all our little coral babies. Next to them, you can see some of the corals that were microfragged, just like you did yourself. And then next to it, we're also not just looking at hard corals. We've got some soft corals that were severely affected by the heat wave of 2023 and coral bleaching. And so these were some of the survivors. They're corals, genotypes that had been specifically selected for their resilience. We will take all those corals, and those are the species that we're focusing on. Because not only is it important that we put out a large number of corals, but we want to make sure that they're best equipped to survive.
Wow. Just seeing the whole process here. All those little plugs here, right? I see you've moved from the old school fiberglass tanks to these look like acrylic tanks you can see through on the walls, and they're a design which I've never seen before. What's going on here?
Yeah, this is our new basically tank that was assisted in the design by 11th Hour Racing Foundation. And basically a number of sailors that know how to design boats that can win a race. Well, we want to win the coral growing race. And we can make a tank in just a couple of days at a fraction of the cost. So it's going to allow us to expand at scale. Plus, we've actually showed that we can take this tank, put them on a boat that can pump water from where we're going to, a little at a time so they're acclimated, and then lift the entire tank down to the divers who will reach in and plant corals. And we call it the wet chain because we won't be taking the corals out. We're going to move them in the same water they've been growing in.
Dee Dee, take me to the sea trees tank where we're growing 3,000 corals for us, is that right?
Absolutely. 3 different species and 3,000 corals.
Amazing. Got a lot of corals going on here.
So we're really excited. Here we've actually got just a little over 50,000 corals that we've grown.
Right here, right now.
Right here, right now in our 36 tanks.
Amazing. Oh, look at this. This is our Samsung sea trees tank right here. Wow. How long have these been growing for right now?
These are at about the 3-month mark. So we've got some of that mustard hill, the Parades esterates.
And that's actually what I was just cutting, right?
Exactly. We've got Orbicella fabulata, and we've got Clivosa over here.
Those are our little babies. Woo! We are going to be doing one of the first photogrammetry runs of our little baby corals. You ready, Dee Dee?
Yeah, we're so excited. This phone and the case really allow us to take photos and observe things in our nursery that we may not have been able to use. Right into the dive housing. So now that we've got the camera in the housing, I'm going to switch it from video mode to the new ocean mode. That way we can get our proper pictures.
Okay, so we just got done with the first run. What happens now, Dee Dee?
So now we take these photos, catalog them, and upload them to a shared drive, which gets sent to Scripps, where they're going to be able to take those photos, stitch them together into a 3D model of what we've got here in our nursery. People think that we've destroyed this earth with technology, but with technology is really how we're going to save it. Like this.
Amazing. So it's right there in the name, plant 1 million corals. What does that mean to you? What does that look like as the operation that you've built?
Our intent was to pick a large number, 1 million, and show that we can both grow and then plant 1 million corals and therefore be able to make an impact. And so I knew that we needed to jump from a laboratory type of experiment into something that became an actual farm.
I've been fortunate enough to be involved in the marine science space my entire life. I was brought home to a research institution before I was brought home from the hospital. I was born at the first Florida Aquaculture Association conference in St. Augustine. We decided it was time to put what our whole lives had really been building towards together, in my almost 15 years of nonprofit experience and his over years of marine science experience.
A lot. Let's just say a lot.
A lot. And really form it together. So it's really something, but if you don't do something you love, you're not going to do it every day. And we truly do this every day.
And you truly love it.
Absolutely.
And it shows.